In your other job, you built it over years, you built the competence over years. So give yourself the grace to build the competence in this job over years. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Ibifubara here. If this is your first time coming here, welcome. This channel is everything mental health and lifestyle. If that's something that you're very interested in, well, this is the place for you. And if this is not your first time, thank you so much for stopping by again, and I hope that you keep coming back. And if you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? I'm going to give you a second to do that. Thank you. Anyway, today's video, like the title already says, is about the mental struggles of transitioning into tech. So basically, I am a psychologist. I've been a psychologist for almost 5 years now, for 4 years and a few months. And this year, I made a decision to transition into tech. However, I did a video about it, right? And in that video, everything was just all, hyper and upbeat. But now that I've stayed a few months or more, it's off. So this video is just going to talk about the mental struggles. I know that like a lot of people actually go through these mental struggles, right? And they don't talk about it because everybody just sees, like the tech world as a enter, do well, get rich sort of situation, and everybody forgets that before you actually get in a situation where you're doing well, there are a lot of holes or a lot of mountains you have to climb, right? And a lot of like things you have to jump through, loopholes, just like a lot of things. And this video is just going to talk about those things and also like offer tips for the ones that I've sort of like overcome. A lot of things too that I have not overcome. So yeah, let's get right into it. I don't want to sort of like waste a lot of time. Like as you can see, I'm going out. Anyway, let's start. So the first thing is that it feels like I can't do anything right. Now I understand that it is, and that makes me like really sad, right? And I understand that obviously I can't do everything right because I'm just learning, like it's a new field that I'm going into, and I know that this happens to a lot of people where it is a new field rather, and or a new career path, right? And it just seems like you're not doing everything right. But in my own case, right, it just feels like I'm always failing. And even if like I've gotten like, oh, well done for this, your staff for this and all of that, like it feels like I'm disappointed in you, or like I know that you could have done this better, why didn't you do it better? It sort of like trumps the well done, because at the end of the day, if people give me corrections, right, I actually end up doing the thing well. So in my head, what actually goes on in my head is like, why am I not doing it right the first time? And that is such a struggle for me because it just puts me into like this zone of anxiety whenever I want to do something, because I feel like the first time that I do it, I'm going to do it wrongly, and that is actually really messed up, because that does not allow me like bring out the best in myself. I'll put it like that. Like everything I do is just, I just know, or I just feel, I just feel like I'm going to do rubbish the first time around. And yeah, it affects me, and like I just feel anxious anytime I want to start work, right? A way that can, or if you're struggling with the same thing, right, a way that you can really like deal with this situation is if you ask a lot of questions. Now there might be managers that might not be open to answering your questions, but if you're in a situation where you have a manager that's open to answering your questions, to be honest, you have something that I think you should utilize, something very good. Ask a lot of questions before you start it, like down to cross all your T's and dot all your I's, like even if they seem like stupid questions and they are small questions. If you don't have managers that help, ask other people, read before you do it, check for tools before you do it, just get all the knowledge you have before you start it, because if you go ahead and do it, to be honest, the first time it might be rubbish, so you don't want all of that, and that will just help you feel better about your work, that now if I don't get it, and after asking all these questions, it might not be me, it might just be the thing. The second thing I would say is that I am always overwhelmed. Now working in tech is such a fast-paced sort of like, will I say, environment. Yes, that's the word I'll call it, environment. It's very fast-paced. So if you don't like calm down and like, if you don't calm down and say, okay, what am I actually doing for the day, overwhelmed by anything. So if they give me a task, right, what I start feeling overwhelmed by is that I cannot do the task, instead of me to focus on, you know, writing down, okay, what is the goal of this task, and what are the tasks, and what are the activities, or what are the, you know, small tasks I can do to get to this, to finish up this work that I've been given. And I get really overwhelmed. But leveraging Trello helps. And I know that writing to-do list might not help as just writing to-do list. What you can do is like assign a time to it. If I don't assign time to the task, I can end up doing one thing for the whole day, and that is like a struggle, because like once I get overwhelmed, honestly, I don't do anything, and I can't do anything. So that is another mental struggle I deal with. Okay, another thing is that I don't know when to stop, right? I wake up, I go to work, I just go on and on. Sometimes I'm not even doing anything like so tasking. Might be just something small, but because I am just stuck there, I keep going, trying to fix that issue, trying to see how I can, you know, get that issue out of the way. Sometimes I notice I'm doing one thing for the whole day, so I will just keep going on and I don't know when to stop, and that affects my mental health, to be honest. Like, I need a balanced life to survive. I need to do YouTube to survive, to be honest. I know that my YouTube is not big or anything, but the fact that I can edit videos gives me some sort of control, and I need that to survive. The fact that I can keep, on Sunday for instance, today I'm going out with my friend, right? Something like that helps me to survive. So because I don't know when to stop work, sometimes I take work that I'm not supposed to be doing, to be honest, into weekend, for instance, and I'm just going on, and before I know it, I'm not resting on Sunday, I'm not resting on Saturday, and that's like puts me deep into like mental instability because there's only one thing I'm doing and I'm not resting, and I just feel then when the weekend's over on Monday morning again, I just feel deep form of sadness like comes upon me, like, wow, I've wasted my life. Am I ever going to, like, and it's not like I'm even good at this thing. You see where this thing is going. It's going from overdoing the thing to, wow, I've wasted my time. Wow, am I ever going to be good at this thing? Wow, sadness. That's like how it goes, and like that is a struggle. One thing I know that helps other people, I've not been able to tackle that, is just putting off the laptop. Like doing all the work that you can on Friday night, like put off your laptop. Like if you have a means to watch stuff on your TV, let that be, like, you know, everybody uses smart TVs now, right? Let that be where you watch everything. Let that be where you do everything, instead of like using your laptop, because once you open your laptop, there's a very big tendency for you to start working, right? But another thing to do is that maybe have somebody that's accountable, right? That can drag you, like that can remind you not to open Slack on the weekend, or turn off your notifications for Slack for the weekend, so that you never get anything that will draw you back to work. Moving on. Another thing I have to talk about is not knowing how to ask for help, right? I talked about asking for help in the other video because it's something that I am learning. Not knowing when to ask for help has really like messed with me mentally. I don't know when to say, okay, I don't know how to do something, and this even stems from me knowing how to do stuff in my previous career. So I don't know who relates to this, right? But when I see people transitioning into tech, right, they had spent years in other careers, and they were like specializing in other careers, so they knew what they were doing, right? So now it's something new, something you don't know what you're doing, so you're used to doing stuff on your own. Like for instance, for me, I'm used to doing stuff on my own. I was confident in my work, so asking for help did not make me feel like I did not know my job. But now, if I ask for help, it feels like I do not know my job, and when I start to feel like I do not know my job, I start to, you know, like take a step back mentally. In my brain, it's like, wow, I don't know my job, I'm bad at my job, I'm bad at this thing, who sent me to do this thing? So I start to spiral before I know I'm in this state where I feel very incompetent, and I feel very, you know, bad about things around me, and it's like, who even sent me to transition? Do you get? And I just suck. One thing I know from my other job is like asking for help is not something that is a bad thing, right? And one thing I'm telling you now, if you're going through this, is that you won't struggle with where you are at this job for too long. Like, you will get better over time. For instance, there are things that I used to ask at the beginning I don't ask anymore. Even if like it feels like I'm slow at learning things, right? There are just some things now that I wouldn't ask, but there are some things I'll ask to confirm, right? But does not mean I do not know. So that's how it is. Like, in your other job, you built it over years, you built the competence over years. So give yourself the grace to build the competence in this job over years, or over a couple of years. So yeah, that's one thing. And just give yourself a couple of grace, right? It might take 1 year, 2 years. Remember, your other job, before you transitioned into tech, it took a while before you became the boss at what you do, before you became good at what you did. So give yourself that same time and space to be that now. The last thing I'm going to say is that after work, make sure that you have a safe thing you go back to, whether it is a cartoon you go back to, so that after work, you're like, at work, it always feels like there's lights, at the end of the tunnel for you. So in your head, it's like, okay, this thing is bad, right? But when I go home, I'll feel better because I'm going to eat my favorite food, because I'm going to watch my favorite cartoon, because I'm going to see my favorite person. Just have that light at the end of the tunnel for you, and hopefully it works out well. So now I have spent too much time on this video. God, I look so nice. But I'm going to just end it by please like, subscribe, share everything YouTube. Please do it for me. I'm trying to grow on YouTube. I'm trying to grow. Sorry about, like, I don't want to say sorry about this, like setup, right? But I'm trying to manage this setup until I finish my house, or until I do something about my house and I create a setup that you like, or a setup that I would like, right? Because it's about me first. So until next time, have a lovely day.